Jennifer, for you, I know you were working with kids who I think hadn't acted before.
Yeah, and that's what we loved about them. We tried as hard as we could to make sure that they weren't acting. So all of those scenes were pretty much improv.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For myself, I'm not being coy. I always feel like when I go to a region and work with a non-actor who's from there and has the dialect and has the background of the area, I feel like, honestly, I'm trying to keep up on some level. So I learn a lot from them, you know, while we're working between takes, whatever. I'm always just trying to pay attention, but it didn't feel really like us and them, and that was a really great thing. I felt like it was something we were all trying to make happen together.
I think sort of the same thing that John said. We were learning from them just as much, you know, saying, what might this be, or how would you do this? And we were in these people's houses. They were just living and being themselves. So a lot like he said, we were trying to keep up because at some points they were probably doing it better than we were.
I'll just add that particularly I think in the barn scene, and we did rehearse that. I think one time we met in the lobby of the hotel we were staying in with all of, particularly most of the men and the guy playing Thump, Ronnie. And we bounced around some lines, and you listened to some feedback that they had of what might really go on, and we just sort of kept mining it, and we, just from watching them and being with them, gained a lot of tremendous insight that really added to the reality of the scenes, I think.
I read in one piece that, Deborah, you were at one point actually shot two somewhat different endings and weren't sure which one to go with. I'd love to know what that other ending was.
There were slight variations in the sense that John and I really had some serious discussions about this. You know, whether it be the female thing, the vanilla, you know, there's something that I got such a huge affection for Teardrop on the page in Daniel's book, and you know, despite this gnarly, impenetrable, gruff, difficult person, the fact that the degree to which he comes through for Ree in the ways that he can, you know, he got me, you know, as a difficult but yet someone who I felt like I wish Ree could do something to help him, basically. I kind of got that desperate feeling as a reader, like, God, could she ever say anything that could stop him? You know, what if she yelled out, "Just stay for dinner"? You know, like, you know, I'm not going to try to control you, Teardrop. I'm not going to, you know, try to cajole you. I know that would be really wrong, but you know, just a simple request. Would he turn around? Could he stay? You know, I didn't think he could stay, but I thought Ree would ask, and or might try that, and then we contemplated an ending in editing where Teardrop doesn't declare that it's still eating at him. He says goodbye to her in a more silent way, so that verbally it's not as demarcated that he, you know, because clearly in the end, in this ending, he shares with her that it's playing heavy on his mind, and that he got more, you know, additional information that's upsetting him, and so we tried one without that line and without the sense that we were pinning him to that place in the end of the film. He left on a note in where you weren't sure. You know, he just, with his eyes, he said goodbye to her. You know, this was a difficult thing because many people responded to the character Morris Daniel had written it, which is that this person does have a tragic destiny, you know, and hearkening to a more formal understanding of a tragic hero. And like I say, that soft spot was I had to at least try it. I had to try it.
Yeah.